Very good morning to everyone here at the Gnostic Takeover. The channel that combines the elements, the water, the fire, the earth, the air, so we become the elements, work with the elements, work with nature, work with the primordial force of the source, and be movers instead of pawns, where we use the principles instead of being its tools. This is all about the learning lesson, and this is all that medicine is here for. And the medicine was sent back to mankind so that mankind can remember who they truly are, stimulate their perception, and anchor a new perception of oneself and of the world, the reality that we exist in, to perceive ourselves in a new light and to respect ourselves. This is about self-respect. And when you go and look up the etymology of the word respect, you'll find out that the word spectare, the Latin word spectare, means to look. And respect, is to do something again. So to respect yourself and have self-respect is to look again at who we truly are, and do this every single day of our life when we can think of that and when we remind ourselves of that. It's a beautiful day today. This is the first day of my life. I love this day. I woke up very, very early today. Very early. You know how early? 12 o'clock midnight. And I woke up and I just knew that I have to go and work. I love work, by the way. I love doing my work. I don't get paid for it like you would if I were still in this criminal system. Oh, are we going to talk about the depth of this criminal system today? I've got a special for you planned here. And it was beautiful. I worked right up to 4:30, 4:45. I went to sleep again, rest a little, and then head out and have this video for all of you. And a video that I actually really do for myself. This is for my learning process. I do this because this is my sort of therapy. This is what harmonizes the field and anchors my shamanic vision, the greater vision that I have for my life. It anchors it deep inside my being because I'm ready for action. I do the action. I'm a causer instead of an effect of reality. And this is what it all comes down to. Are you a cause or are you an effect? And I've got a mighty special episode for you today. I'm really looking forward to actually watching this also. I'll delve deeper than I've ever done, even from the last video, and pick some themes up from everything that I'm talking about. There will be, in my greater vision that is anchoring inside of me, there will be hours of presentation material coming up for you when we are in our new home. It's going to be beautiful, so there will be more than enough time to explain everything from the core, from the very basis, with beautiful slides and everything. So there's a lot to look forward to there. So everyone, you see, this is why we do all of this here, so everyone gets to move on in their lives and have a better quality of life. And I'll be sharing with you the depth of knowledge of the plant medicine that has transformed me to become the Gnostic Takeover, to embody the Gnostic Takeover. You know, people can call me Steve, but you can call me the Takeover, the Gnostic Takeover. This is the guy who founded the Gnostic Takeover. And I say, yeah, that's what I did. I had to do it, otherwise I would have been fucked by the Satanists until time immemorial. There needed to be a new idea, because it's always been an idea that has transformed the world, not any one individual. I take a lot of pride in being the instigator of the Gnostic Takeover. I love myself for it. However, I just do what I have to do. I did everything since the passing from last decade to the next. Ever since this crisis hit, I've done everything for mankind, and I'm in good spirits today that this is another major move on my part to synchronize the field. This is about sovereignty. Alright? Sovereignty is in place. You are sovereign, anchored in your sovereignty as the one and only authority of your life, as the power, as the force, when your thoughts are in alignment with your emotions and are in alignment with your actions. When that cycle is complete and the Trinity flows harmoniously, which is a long process, it's a beautiful adventure, isn't it, dear medicine? As an adventurer, I say that to you. Beautiful process of self-discovery the last 1.5 years, although they've been the most difficult 1.5 years of my life. When we harmonize the Trinity process of as I think, so I feel, and so I act, we then activate the quadrivium, where this will be reflected in the manifested reality outside of us, and we'll actually also get the confirmation that we've created a new reality. So this is the way we create reality, through the Trinity that then transforms to the quadrivium, the four, as I talked about last time, the ordering principle, the four, the manifestation. It has all the numbers in it. Add 1 to 4, you get 10. That's power. Knowledge is the basis of power. However, the use of knowledge is true power. So yeah, this is beautiful. I'm so grateful. I'm freeing myself from self-imposed slavery, because we shouldn't be in any doubt that this control system, this matrix control system that I'm going to expose even further here in this video, this matrix control system, even though as we are in our experience, as we go through life, it may seem on a certain level of perception that it's a control system we can do nothing about. There's all these bankers, there's all these wars, these warmongers, all the people just running around like sheep. Everyone's saying, oh, you can't change anything. You can't change anything. Well, that is until I fuck off from the collective and become the individual power that I always wanted to be. And actually, there is a new perception that is anchoring inside of me. It's called the new paradigm. This is what the medicine has tasked me and Liz to do, is to usher in heaven on earth, the new paradigm reality. And this is that I can actually only change everything. I can only change myself. I can shift my perspective about myself, find out the deepest levels of the control system, how they've manipulated my psyche to perceive me in a negative self-image that was due to childhood trauma. I will be talking about that, the depth of the control system. I can already smell the enemy is very afraid once again of me talking about the bits of information that the control system is dependent upon people not to find out, because it's the power of the truth. There's certain information of truth that takes down the entire control system, which is the reason why these psychopathic lunatics have always hidden the truth. And I also want to give a shout out to someone, I think I read your name as Christian. I hope you're okay mentioning your name here on the show. Because I was sent an email. I have to apologize to people who send me emails, and also to people who write in the comments. Thank you for all the comments. Also the ones who want to always, of course, demoralize you. Oh, my shadow app plays. Hey, there you go, shadow. Because it's the same shadow program, and these people work for the shadow program. Oh, you think you can quote Carl Jung, and you've got it, have you? The medicine, if it's got wrong wisdom, okay? Yeah, if you do not respect the medicine, why don't you desubscribe, and fuck off, okay? Because we don't need you here, right? Everyone here is welcome. Only people really who want to learn are welcome. Learning, okay? And not talking from your butt. That's what people do, many people. So there you go. And also to people, don't want to get personal, talking about how deep this process is, and how much I still have to learn, and the hidden shadows. Really, actually, it's very easy. So don't overcomplicate a process and let others unfold themselves. Okay, there's all these people who always want to make you feel insecure, but I say thank you, because that brings up the insecurity that then gets transformed to anchoring the new signal. That's what this is all about. Okay, but I got an email, back to the point, and it was all about how this dark occult, that they've got a way about them that, oh, they won't follow the commands. Okay, he said demands. No, it's not demands. That's a different expression. It's a command, not demand. Command. Commands. They won't follow them because they are who they are. They are psychopaths, and they will never change. And why should they follow my orders? Yeah, it's good questions there, mate. Really. And that's why I wanted to pick it out also to talk about this, because it's worth talking about. It's important. It's to ask the question, why do I think that the dark occult have to serve the commands and fulfill the commands that I, a human being, you're nothing but a virus to this planet? Why am I, as a human being, commanding the entire control system of dark occultists? Why is that so? And why do they have to follow the commands? It's a very good question. And you see, it comes back to the point where there's certain type of information that this dark occult priest class that will run this control system in the background, that they don't want people to know about. There's a reason why one of their modus operandi is not only psychological warfare, but also information warfare. It's warfare on all levels, okay? This system is a full spectrum dominance model, is this criminal system. They want full spectrum dominance. So the way I would translate it is that within the frequency band, where they can manipulate and control everyone within that frequency band, they want full spectrum dominance, which means full spectrum is warfare strategy applied on every level. In the economy, in psychology, in finance, in business, in the food supply, in all areas of life. And one of the things they are most adamant about keeping control is alternative voices and alternative media. Okay, this is why the medicine has plonked, as the English like to call, the medicine plonked the Gnostic takeover right in the center of the alternative media war that's happening. They don't want certain information out to reach the public and reach the people. Exactly the information that takes down the control system. And that's the experience that I had. I didn't even know. I was plonked into that war field. Okay, it's a war zone. And I thought people get on with each other, you know, in the alternative media. Like, we've got Max Egan and David Icke, and I just reach out to these people, and I had great interviews. Max Egan interviewed me and Errol twice. Lots of people that watched the interview in comparison to now, to the videos that I do. I did interviews with Age of Truth TV, done some things there. I was also on David Icke right now. Probably a few people watching this first became aware of me then. and I was on Alphabetic with Josh Del Sol. This is the one of the creators of the Empower movement that brought forward the idea of personal and private liability, which is, as I said last time, something that I took upon me and went even deeper in my research and my application, holding a judge liable who's put together the court sort of SWAT team to steal Liz's child, which is the foundation of why we're taking down this control system and getting Liz's child back, Leonie. So I didn't even know that that was a war zone, the alternative media, and it happened after this fateful day and experience in St. Corona. It was about 2 weeks, nearly 2 weeks, 10 days or so, 12 days, whatever, that I spent in St. Corona from the 19th of November till the 30th of November. We left on the 1st of December because we had to flee because it's a satanic temple. As I said often here, and I didn't say it last time because I got carried away with the information track. It was the 19th of November where forced vaccinations were imposed on Austria. The only country to do this move in the whole COVID scam crisis. And that's exactly the day I went to St. Corona to actually find out and meet the High Priest of Satanism of Austria. You do not find out who the High Priest of Satanism in Austria is. It's not in any book or anything. This is a hidden control system at the very core, at the very foundation. What's hidden is the structural dynamics, how it really operates, this control system, and this is where the plant medicine put me and Liz on duty to really find out the nuts and bolts of this machinery, so we can disintegrate and destroy the machinery. This is so mighty deep. I mean, I have to do so many videos about this because there's just so much information, but it's good. I feel good about this. It's fantastic. We're out in nature here. It's beautiful. So that's what we did. And when we left St. Corona, me and Liz were homeless. We've basically been homeless ever since. We're talking about, what is it? No, I didn't calculate that. So it's about, I'm gonna say, just 22 months. Okay, that's nearly 2 years we've been homeless. We had a home in between where we paid rent, okay? We had to make that experience, how paying rent is also one of the foundations of this slavery system. That's why one of the commands that we have to the dark occult is that they have to give us a new home for free. This is how you solve this crisis. Okay? They were the instigators of this crisis, and we also have our part to play. Okay, this is absolutely true. It's not just their fault or whatever. They are only serving a role here. We dream up these characters like the dark occultists, alright? That Franzi Vogel is, for example. Okay, you've been in my dream the other day. Alright? What's the fucking problem? I asked you in my dream, why don't you just kill me and stop beating about the bush? And he said, yeah, that's the plan. This guy from St. Corona, Franzi Vogel, he's the High Priest of Satanism here in Austria. And he said, no, that's the plan. And I said, well, you can't fucking kill me because I'm under the highest level of protection here on Earth. And then the dream was over because I spoke the truth. And yeah, there's just so much to share about all of this. But what I can go into now is the Merovingian character. It was about here last time when I last spoke about him. It's a very important scene. I'll have it linked underneath in the description for people to watch those 5 minutes. There's a lot of juice in there, told by the villain of the movie, of the second Matrix movie, the Merovingian character. And he's absolutely true, and I have to correct my last citation from last video. There really only is one constant. There really only is one truth. Causality. Cause and effect. Action and reaction. Absolutely true. That's what we need to focus on. Focus on how we can actually also apply this. What does it mean to apply causality into your life? And this is what the dark occult, that's the reason why they have to follow the commands that we give them, because we're unlocking the hidden deepest secrets of causality, and it causes them to be held energetically liable, energetic liability, because it only takes one to break free out of their control system, out of their mind control system that they've set up here on Earth. It only takes one. Best is two, because alone this mind control system and this matrix control system is so strong on your mind. It has such a grip deep within the subconscious of your being, of the automatic response mechanisms, isn't that true? That you wouldn't be able to do it on your own. That's why you need someone else. That's what our medicine brought me and Liz together, so we can take down this control system, male and female, because one of the principles of natural law is the principle of gender. It's very powerful knowledge that I'm sharing with you here. So how do you apply causality? Or you become a causer of reality instead of an effect of reality. You, as I said, you use the principles instead of being its tools. Okay, you use the force of nature, the elements, instead of being crushed by the elements. Okay, instead of going throughout your lifetime of being programmed by the program of the shadow self, the program of the shadow self, which is the artificial matrix, the matrix control system. Instead of being programmed, you program reality according to the parameters that you set. You start programming. That's what you do. You use the principles. You activate the four elements to combine together with you along the fulfillment of your personal destiny, your personal dream, what you have to share with the world, and then the universe and the entire force is and will protect you along that journey until it is manifested reality. So I've said this often, when you do not use your mind and the reality projection mechanism of your mind, the mind is what projects your reality. If you do not use your mind, someone else will use your mind for you, because it's so powerful, especially when synchronized with the heart, which is what we here at the Gnostic Takeover do show. We live that every single day, and we share that journey with you. Heart-based intelligence, this is what Gnosticism is all about. That's what John Lash, the great Gnostic, wrote a great book. Always give credit where credit is due. However, where is the heart-based intelligence? John Lamb Lash, you're not sharing it. You're just talking about history and other interesting things while a genocide is going on here on Earth. I've got some questions here for you, John. And ever since I started doing that, I got kicked out, okay, by the cult of the alternative media and the other personalities that act as gatekeepers of natural law is Mark Passio. Act as gatekeepers of Gnosticism is John Lamlash. Act as gatekeepers on the real nature of reality is David Icke. So, whoo! Now that's the warfare that I experienced when I got in there, in the alternative media. I had to experience, and everything serves the purpose of learning. So, we've reached this stage here once again. We're in beautiful nature, and I'm gonna, coming back to the Merovingian character, what he also says is that it's all about causality, as I say. The dark occult, when the pendulum of causality swings in their direction, which is when you break out of their mind control programming, and the only grip that they have on you is because their whole system is self-imposed slavery due to the habit of doing so, okay, which is what I say, the dominance of the shadow self over your own psychology. When the shadow self, the program, still runs your psychology, you're not in control of yourself and you're not in control of your reality. So the dark occult, they set up a proxy war. That's what they do everywhere, okay? This explains the wars in Syria, in the Ukraine, in Libya, all the wars, all the theatres of wars on all levels is done via proxy. That's the warfare stratagem that they use. It's proxy war. They have representatives doing the bidding for them. And the biggest war they have instigated is the war on our minds, okay? And this is so important information. The true war is the war that has been placed on ourselves. So their mind control system, their matrix control system is run by our shadow self. They create a shadow self is created through traumatization very early in our childhood, through a very impactful and overwhelming experience early in our life that leads to a state of paralysis and shock in which we are basically kicked out of our default state of perception, where we come into this world as a soul with all the potential to grow. We get kicked out from that default state of perception of being one with everything and having the full support of the universe through a major traumatic event early in our life, and the spirit of evil finds its way to everyone. This matrix control system finds its way to everyone through a very traumatic event in our life. We get kicked out from our default state of perception in connection to the source and into a state of hypnosis, basically. And this is what trauma is all about. Because it's so impactful, it's so deep, it goes so deep into our genetics, and through the genetics also into our neural connections. And this impactful event of trauma then serves as the foundation on which you can build on and layer upon a whole new personality structure. And this entire personality structure is a neural network. And I'll go deeper into what's even beyond that with regards to what this system really is, which is a benefit system. Okay, I have to look this up because I've also actually got a list here. Right, it's a reward system based on conditioning, classical conditioning. It's programming, it's mind control. And today we're walking beyond. Okay, this is where I normally end, where the tree is. Alright, and I'll walk back. But today is a special day. This is a beautiful day today. Well, I'm exposing once again the hidden layers of this control system. That what they don't want me to know, that what they don't want you to know. Because we're taking down the control system here at the Gnostic Takeover. Because it's about time someone ended these fuckers. Coming back to the point, I've got a lot to share with you. So based on that traumatic, eventful, painful, deep-seated wound event, they layer a whole new personality structure that is the foundation of the shadow self. And the foundation of the shadow self is the shadow child. It's basically a hurt child. And that's what all you Satanists are. You're basically hurt children. You were born and raised into your generation of dark occultists. Like you, Francis Vogel, I'm going to tell you your why you are the way you are, the psychopath that you are. Same as your little bitch boys around you like Patrick. Okay, I know these people. And I'm your psychologist. Okay? We're taking over the earth and there's nothing you can do about it. Because we know about causality, and the pendulum of causality swings over to you. Big time now, and you're held energetically liable under natural law. I command. I, as the general of the plant kingdom and principal commander of my reality, Stephen Whybrow, I command full energetic liability onto the Archon Vampire Empire that is beneath me and Liz in a hierarchy of natural order in which the moral command the immoral. We're in command and they must fulfill all of our commands that was given in the last video. I do not have to repeat myself all the time. It is so because I say so. And all of the information regarding our new home at the Wolfgangsee in the Salzkammergut is sent to the email address steven.whybrow@protonmail.com. All the information there, what the address is, where it is, and that everything is sorted with the judge and the social services so we can pick up the child of Leonie, which you stole, for which you are liable to the infinite. This is infinite liability. And at the very foundation, energetic liability, because we stand above you, prove us otherwise. And don't waste our time. Alright, so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Hermetically sealed and protected. Okay. I'm going to tell them their why before I'm going to say my why. And it's actually interesting that it's the whybrow speaking here to you. In the beauty of nature. Okay, I'm getting to be a little bit more careful here because of the slugs. Alright, but we're moving beyond into uncharted territory here. It's what we do. I love this place. It's a beautiful day. It's the first day of my life. I love it. I love life. So yeah, you spoilt little children who always got their way over the last few years, a century, born into this family of yours, and you think you're something more than mankind, and all the others are just the sheep. That is the high priest of Satanism. And your shadow self has full control over you. And the basis of that shadow self is the shadow child. And you're like little children. And you're not getting away with the crimes that you've committed. And you see, it cannot be dependent on them. It doesn't matter what they think about what I do. They have to follow all the content that I do here. For all those who think, oh, they're not listening to you. Well, the Merovingian character explains who he is, okay? The Merovingian character is actually a good representation of the role of a high priest of Satanism. He is a trafficker of information in that movie. A trafficker of information. That's why he has to know. So when you've got awareness rising, like with the Gnostic Takeover, the information that we share here, they have to watch our videos because it just so happens that we have the highest level of awareness here on Earth. It just is what it is because of the intensity and the depth of the work that we've done with the medicine and our intention, because our intention was to take back the Earth from the dark occultists, which is exactly what we're doing. Life becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy when you do that. Okay, so back to the workings of the shadow self. The foundation of their control system. This is, they have a proxy war running on you, okay, and they're the instigators. And it's very interesting. Now I'm gonna have to look at my little notes for the first time. Okay, they are the instigators who, by way of being insidious, okay, it's an insidious control system. It's ruse, actually a very good terminology also for this control system, because Wetiko works on covert psychological operations, okay? It always runs in the background, in the subconscious. They keep you locked. It's a perfect example that people, oh, it's the control system here. Look, it's here. Have people always focusing on the outside, on the canvas, the projection, when the whole control system is inside of here. That's where the control system is. It's inside, and this whole control system is set up so we always stay locked in Plato's cave of shadow projections, to stay locked with our perception on the screen level of reality and not come back to ourselves onto the projector level of reality. Okay, that's why it's all about the self. And I dethroned my shadow self the other day, and then I had another very difficult day 2 days ago, and I came through it, and then I was more powerful yesterday. And then we were getting the water, and it was so hot, 34 degrees in the middle of the day, because we had to have our breakfast first, because it was beautiful, because I just love the breakfast. I just love life, you know, the last few days. I don't even know where I'm going to live in the next few days. Is it going to be next day? Is it going to be tomorrow? Is it going to be next week? I don't know. I just have no idea. All I have is the trust in the medicine. I just know that the medicine won't drop me, because no mother would ever drop her child, as I can see with Liz, how much she loves her child Leonie. And then I've got a real mother. I've got a mother in earthly form here that I've made peace with, which is beautiful. Also with my father, who was the biggest representation of my shadow in my environment. I've made peace. They told me I should tell them the address where we're going to move. So I've basically reprogram my whole environment, that I create my reality and that I do not subordinate to the psychopathic system anymore. And what an adventure! I have no idea where I'm going to end up, but I know there is a great mother who woke me up today and said, Steve, you're going to work at 12 o'clock midnight, because I can trust Steve that he will do it, because he loves what he's doing, because he loves taking down the enemies of life, and that's why the earth has chosen me and loves me, because I don't bullshit around and blow smoke up people's ass. Oh, you have to imagine the light and the new life and the new paradigm coming. But we don't mention the psychopaths that we have to take down first. Why is no one talking about this? Only the Gnostic takeover! They lock you down! These psychopaths, you have to take them down! Where is the fire? I am the lion! This is the lion awakening! That's power! And we've come all this way. All this way. What a beauty. And the path would continue here, but that's not the path we're going to take. We've done what we came here to do. Now we move on. There's a great mother also in Mother Earth. I'm an earth worshipper, if anything. Don't worship anything. I just have a lot of respect for the being of the earth. Of course I do, because earth is an anagram of heart. I have a heart too. We're connected with her through the natural internet, not the artificial internet. It's the world of the shadow world, virtual reality simulation. But we can use it when we do it in a responsible manner. It's all about responsibility. However, we do not let the internet take over through artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence makes the takeover move like they did with COVID. Okay, it was a move by artificial intelligence. It's a different intelligence that these cultists, these priests, go by. They think differently to us, these psychopaths. Then they activate natural intelligence by the form of me. Then we take them down and we live happily ever after. I'm writing the story. I'm a cause or not an effect. I'm writing the story. I impose my vision. I have the vision of the oracle. It's also something that the Merovingian character says. That tell the oracle, tell the fortune teller that her time is nearly up. No, he says this, the Merovingian, because his time is nearly up, because I'm about to awaken from the dream, as in my experience. It's the shadow self that says, your time is over. Oh, you're going to be lost, you're going to be homeless. You know how often these thoughts have come in with me? In the proxy war of deceit. They wage a proxy war on you through your own shadow self. And the warfare is not taking place outside. Okay, that's the canvas of distraction, manipulation and deceit and perception, deception. So if you're looking outside, so you don't look inside where the projection's coming from and change the projector, connect to a new information system, transcend out of the collective mind control programming, and become the individual you were always meant to be. So, and that's where, you see, this is why freedom is so important, and information about the truth, real truth. That's why I hide information about the truth, and have everyone talk about all different things with flavor of the truth, but not the actual truth, which is found in nature and natural law principles and how to apply that. Why isn't anyone talking about how to apply natural law? How to apply heart-based intelligence? Okay, not just talk about it. Okay, how do we do it? You can only live it and then share your experiences, which is exactly what we do here at the Gnostic Takeover. So, this really goes deep and back to our childhood, where this shadow self has its basis as the shadow child. Because the child, we were broken as children, everyone. There's not a single soul who was not broken here on earth, because the spirit of evil finds its way everywhere. And it's part of the earth experience, alright? I'm at peace with it. It's okay. We had to go through all this. I had to go through that myself also. And that's the nuts and bolts now of the real matrix control system. And it's found in classical conditioning. That's what it's really all about. And through classical conditioning, as you can look up yourself, look up the term, make up your own mind. All people will probably know what is meant with classical conditioning. We learn this at school, but no one emphasizes that this is the way the matrix control system nests inside your subconscious. As the shadow self, the program of the collective, takes over your life in early childhood. And it's outside stimulus. Okay, you get a stimulus like the bell, how they program dogs, but the same as with animals, they do the same with human beings. You have an outside stimulus, which is then coupled with a desired behavior. Okay, this is the way you should behave. So, and then the dog, in other words, the human being, after he's traumatized, he continues to get incentives, triggers, to perform a certain behavior that is desirable by society, okay? Because this is a mind control program set up for all of society, and you as the child, you're meant to be programmed into that hive mind, that collective, because you, in individual power, you would activate the lion and tear apart these fucking Archon Vampire Empire control system matrix agents. Little nothings. You would tear them apart as the lion, which is what the Gnostic Takeover is doing, by the way. Oh, it's too much for people when someone shouts, "Oh, just had a genocide!" That's why I'm shouting. Think it's good to have a genocide? Don't think so. Unless it reaches your doors, then you might change your opinion. That's why I shout. It's natural intelligence, it's authority. So in this classical conditioning, they couple a trigger, okay, like the bell for the dog, with a desired behavior. And the trigger, you can see in collective events. David Icke even called his book The Trigger with 9/11. And the same was with COVID. That was a worldwide instigation of another proxy war to kickstart the shadow self that was programmed into people's perception in the deep layers of the subconscious in a very insidious, deceitful way, with Tico being a hidden mechanism of control to activate, kickstart the shadow self and have a shadow government takeover of the government of your reality, the authority of your reality creation. It was a coup d'etat of the psyche via the shadow self, which is the proxy agent of the war that is taking place inside your mind. I've never said something more important than that. Except last time about the signal that travels from microcosm to macrocosm, from projection to manifested reality, and the pendulum of causality that swings to the dark occult. Oh, do I love this day. It's already happening. They're watching this video because they have to watch this video. I love this day. This is the first day of my life. Thank you, medicine. The new earth is being born here right now. It's being born here right now. It's beautiful. I love it. I'm so blessed, dear medicine. Thank you. Sometimes I shout, a bit angry. Oh, and then I'm like, I'm the most romantic guy, you know, more of a romantic than a French guy. But he's half English, half Austrian. What's wrong here? Why is he speaking like this? They fear us because we are so powerful, we're so creative, we're so immaculate. Okay, back to classical conditioning. You got the trigger, and the trigger can also be the kindergarten, alright? Your environment changes. The kindergarten, and again your environment changes when you go to school. Oh, that's classical conditioning. The exams that you have at school, let's take that for example. So you've got regular events happening in classical conditioning where a desired behavior is being programmed into you. And after repeating this for a while, it becomes a habit. Oh, there's all your law from government, the statutes that are not law. Many people talk about this, but the psychological aspect of it. Why? Don't often hear that. Dot connected is because of habit. All of these laws that they set in place, the rules and regulation for COVID, was all based on habit formation and conditioning. No one actually signs these papers, okay? They put a law into effect, you know, these measures that they had. No one signs it. Therefore, no one takes liability. And there you've got the basis of this whole control system, which is the transfer, the transmission of liability from shadow self, the proxy agent of this control system. Oh, we're really getting a hold of how this whole control system works. The proxy agent of this control system hidden deep inside your subconscious that was programmed into you since the beginning of the trauma, the traumatic, catastrophic, overwhelming event that happened to program your perception of reality and the personality of the shadow self to govern you and your reality creation faculties, because you're so powerful. That proxy agent is then in control, and you get programmed by habit that this is the way it has to be. So because everyone's doing it, the whole society is subordinate to the shadow self, so therefore you have to be too. And classical conditioning, you keep repeating that behavior. In the beginning, you can still give them sweets, like in kindergarten. Oh, when you do this, oh, you get a sweet, for example. But with time, you can then remove the reward from the unit, as they call us, okay, from the human resource, as they call us, from the unit. You can remove the reward also, because the whole process has been conditioned and automated, and people, they go to school, they take all these tests because they think they know why they're doing it. They think it's important because someone else told them, they can't remember anymore, and the whole process is automatic. And the desired behavior of society, for the good of society, collectivism. You're serving collectivism, you're serving the program, you're serving the Satanists who fuck the children in the dungeons and in places where you don't see them. Okay, it's children fucking, it's not pedophilia. And they sacrifice humans and all of that. They steal the entire world through their multinational corporations. But you're doing something good for society. That's the nutty place. It's not the Gnostic takeover. Gnostic takeover is what exposes the nutty house. With the depth of knowledge, like the water here. Yeah. It's a reward system. However, they can remove the reward because people have just been programmed with fear. If they don't comply, that something bad is going to happen to them. And the shadow self kicks in, and through thought patterns, alright, it tries to manipulate your perception, and this can happen and that will happen if you don't comply. And through this continuous process where you have a trigger in the outside, okay? For example, you're at school and the trigger is you got another exam. Oh, now it's geography. Oh, then it's a math exam, then it's a German exam. These are all triggers, and the desired behavior is you go to these exams and let yourself get programmed by the outside, okay? This is where the system is a validation system. Because it's only valid when it comes from outside. This is the basis of the legal system. Oh, they really hate me today. Oh, I'm connecting the dots between the legal system and psychology. Call the ambulance, call the freaking nursing home also. Get those people in also. Together with the ambulance, together with the fire brigade, the police, the CIA, the fucking military. Get it? He's connecting the dots here. Taking down the fucking control system and sharing it with the people. Letting the signal travel from microcosm to macrocosm so it manifests as reality. Which is everything that the plant medicine is teaching Steve to do, and Steve has been it's such a difficult process because she's deconditioning you. So that's what you learn at school, that the certification and the validation that it's true comes from something outside of you, the teacher, and then later in life it's the doctor, and then later in life it's your boss. They give you the validation, and then when you're a naughty boy and you're transcending this control system, you get the validation with a stamp, with a state. It doesn't exist. It's not a state, it's a company. I have no contract with that company, okay? You can fuck them all. You're all privately liable. And you're not state representatives, you're criminals. That's why you don't sign any of your papers. Oh, we fucked them up. We really fucked them up here at the Gnostic Takeover. That judge that we held liable, this guy, I can't imagine he can be sleeping much these days. Anyways. Yeah. The stamp, and then there's the judge, and they've ordered the order, and you say, oh, hang on a minute. There's no signature here, so who takes liability for this order? Then you tell all the policemen who want to enforce that order that you're acting in private capacity, because how can you prove that the order that you're following here has come from a state? Because I am commanding you must show me proof of claim that you are even working for a state, which is the reason why I want to see the document where the state has been formed. Doesn't exist. The state of Austria doesn't exist because there's no document with a signed signature that this state has even been created. It's just been made believe through classical conditioning, repetition, propaganda. Here we go again. Everyone knows that in the collective insanity asylum, well, which I'm not part of it. And this is where you are outside of the sphere of influence of the dark occult. That's why I can tell you all about it. Okay, it's outside validation, outside recognition by a judge, by a lawyer, by a doctor and all that. But they have no authority. Because you're giving yourself the validation, the recognition, the self-respect. You're looking at yourself in a new light and you actually see, hang on a minute, I'm getting out of this insanity asylum, collective hive mind, and I'm doing individuation, which is what the plant medicine does with you. So, it's a validation system. And it's a reward system. Okay? So it's a very sophisticated psychodynamic of how they hijacked us. Okay? And this reward system is actually also called, and this is what I'm learning right now, it's a very interesting terminology. The reward system is mesocorticolimbic circuit. Here we go again. It is a mesocorticolimbic circuit, which is a neural network. Exactly, that's why he talks about the network all the time. And it's based on repetition until you get the expectation, okay, the outside validation, and you're already expecting things to just continue along this way, or oh, that's how it's always going to be. Oh, I can't change anything because it's always been this way. Have you heard this from people before? Yeah, it's the result of the end result of classical conditioning. Ah, very smart. Very smart mind. Yeah. They're already expecting it. This is what they mean with the eyes of the oracle. That's why the Merovingian character wants the eyes of the oracle, because they want to program your expectation of what reality is going to be and how it's going to transpire based on your you expect this outcome of reality based on your past experiences. And this is another aspect of the control system, which is the mind of past experiences. So you should only go with what you've been conditioned to believe in, and all your memories from your life and how you have failed there, and it will always be like that. And this is why most, if not all people, are driven by the fear of failure, and that's why they comply, because they don't want this uncomfortable feeling come up again, which is what the plant medicine does. It makes all of these repressed emotions come up back to the surface in order for them to be healed. Okay, so that's why with me, for example, it's a very traumatic expression with me, I can share honestly, is the fear of failure. That's what came up with me 2 days ago, and always kept coming up as long as these commands are not fulfilled. You know, I've got this fear, and now I'm freeing myself because I'm talking about it. And it's sort of like this shadow self creates a negative self-image of yourself, okay, based on this traumatic event, that overwhelming event, and other strings of event connected with it. And it creates this negative self-image, negative self-perception, and you feed that perception into the field, into the infinite field, and what you get out of the infinite field is the radio station that you access, and you get that as experience. So you feed your perception into the infinite field of reality, infinite radio stations of reality you can tune into, because there's an infinity of imagination. You feed your perceptions into it, and you get the feedback loop of experience of reality, of your perception. Inside perception becomes outside experienced perception as reality, because this reality is the reality of the psyche. It's not a materialistic reality. It's a reality based on energy, frequency and vibration, and it's based on what neural network you're activating. And if you're the Gnostic Takeover, you're activating a new neural network. That's why it's so difficult to do this pioneer work, but I love it. I feel blessed doing it, because no one else has walked this path before. We have no other game plan. It has to work, and what Neo says in the first Matrix movie, what if it doesn't work? It has to work. It will work because it has to work. It has to work out. And that's the very reason it's going to work out. Because you have to trust. Because it's your life. You're creating reality. This is what it ultimately comes down to. Okay, and this mesocorticolimbic circuit, okay, I'm learning a new word, it's brilliant. Mesocorticolimbic circuit, it drives the production of dopamine. This is what people get addicted to. So this process of classical conditioning actually activates your dopamine and the endorphins. So you get ecstasy from it. Like, for example, when we're a child, and we do something good, we run to mommy, daddy, look what I've done, and they're like, oh son, daughter, you're very smart, look at him. Oh. And this is what we learn, to run to mommy and daddy. It's not good enough for us, okay? This is the way classical conditioning works. We need the outside recognition, and we become dependent on that dopamine rush, and this is what locks us into the matrix control system. And it's positive reward to the stimulus and response. Positive reward later in life. We don't run to mummy and daddy, but we run into work to get the positive stimulus response of the reward system. And the reward is you get paid at the end of the month, at the beginning of the month. You get paid. And you know what a job is? Just over broke. That's what a job is. That's why I don't work for this psychopathic system. And by the way, the other day, from the guy who wrote me, we sent back your donations also. Or your donation. Because we're going into trust. Alright? Anyone, we're just going to trust. Because we're fully going for it. This is now the time. So yeah, that's also what needed to be said. Let me check my list. Got a whole list here. It's a long video today, isn't it? Beautiful. So this is the end. This is the end. Okay. And the medicine. Now we're going to talk about the medicine. She deconditions you. Okay, this is the medicine that ayahuasca and datura that we're going to be serving in our new home, which is coming now. We'll have ceremonies there because we have to give it to everyone. This is the new paradigm. This is the truth. And people will have great ceremonies. We'll have fantastic breakthroughs, everyone. That's what we're doing. And she deconditions you. She works at the very core. She works on your attitude. She's the truth. That's why she works on the principles that you can find in the Hermetic principles. Okay, principle of correspondence, the principle of mentalism. That's why she works on your attitude. It's all about attitude, mentalism. And she does so many iterations of this process of breakdown leading to breakthrough, breakdown leading to breakthrough. So you get out of that mind control pattern of the classical conditioning of stimulus, response, so you expect a reward. So you expect that things can't work any other way, and you expect that reality will always be like you've been programmed it to be, and your expectation is always fixed, that there's nothing outside the limit of that frequency spectrum of the matrix control system, that tunnel vision. There's nothing outside of that. You're in fear. Oh, how am I going to pay the rent when I do what the Gnostic Takeover does? Well, the Gnostic Takeover can tell you when you make the choice for freedom, you make it every single day, and you are guided by the medicine. You're guided by the truth. You're guided by the greater being of yourself, which the medicine acts as a medium for. That's how the Gnostic Takeover has done it. That's why I can have trust in this process now also, because I've been through so much since 2017, since I dropped my studies. I was becoming a teacher of mathematics and history, but I was always studying the occult and these Satanists, these dark occultists. And I knew I had to take them down deep inside of me, but I just didn't know a way out of this system. 2017 in September, I had fears of how I can pay my rent back then. And it's now 2023 in August, and life works for me. It's just been very hard, very difficult, but no one said it was ever going to be easy. This is an adventure. I don't know what's coming next. I've no idea, but I know there's a great mother that never leaves her child and her children behind. And I'm a child of the earth. I'm a good boy. I'm a good man. That's why I'm proud of myself. I'm proud that I woke up today, I did the hard work, and I can share this information with you and take down this control fucking structure inside of me. Decondition myself from this insanity asylum, stimulus response, classical conditioning. I'm not waiting for outside recognition. Fuck your outside recognitions. I can see through it. I can see through your entire program of mind control. I don't need outside recognition. And for all the losers of the loser mentality, oh, they won't follow your command because it's not up to the criminals when there's an investigator on their case, huh? Where do you ever get this wrong thinking from? Alright? Before anyone, okay, wastes my time again with this negative attitude, they won't give it to you because it's not dependent on them. It's classical conditioning that you've fallen trap into like everyone else. Lock, stock and barrel claptrap of this matrix control system. And I can name it. I've found it out. It's knowledge. It's the most important knowledge you can have. Not waiting for outside recognition. And how can the investigation, okay, this is what the Gnostic takeover is. It's an investigation in taking down the Peter satanic criminal network, taking back the earth, ushering the new paradigm. Live a new life in complete abundance. It's at least 42,638,000 euros that we're going to be sent. Why? Because liability is infinite. It's infinite liability. They broke into our home. They wanted to arrest me. Okay, this caused damage in their legal system. I've completely unraveled that because they don't sign anything. They don't sign their papers. So therefore, they're privately liable to the infinite. How much I say that they're liable of. This is under my command. They have no control over it. This is why it's infinite liability. And since that day and before, ever since St. Corona, as I said, 22 months, they have attacked me and Liz. Okay, now we've got a hack going on here. There's a guy next to me. Hang on. I'm going to be out. So they've attacked us energetically for 22 months. Can you imagine how much energy they've attacked us with? Black magic and all that. Okay, and that black magic is being transformed now into goods and services. And this is where I start to talk about the commands. Alright, so the pendulum swings to you because your shadow self program, collectivist program, it ain't working on this one anymore. It ain't working on Liz's anymore because we're defeating it. And therefore, the pendulum of causality swings over to the agents of this proxy war because my shadow self has been defeated. The war with me is ended. I, as the general of the plant kingdom and principal command of my reality, Stephen Whybrow, I command that I end the war with the proxy agent. I end the proxy war with the proxy agent of my shadow self, with myself, and I merge with my shadow self as one, as is the unification and transformation as there is only one. I am the principle of the one. I am the one and only source. I'm the expression of the one and only source, shining my unique light into the world. And it happens now. All the commands said in the last video, 6 commands have to be fulfilled as of now. It is so because I say so, because I choose so, because I command so, because I know so, because I feel so. I feel connected to my reality creation. So it is, and so it is, and so it is. Hermetically sealed and protected. And therefore, the pendulum of causality swings over to you. You're energetically liable to the infinite, and you have to follow these commands. And why do they have to follow the commands? Now I can talk about my why. Because the commands are, as the Merovingian character says, the commands are not an end but a means. But a means to do what? I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. All the money that we're going to get with all the commands being fulfilled, we'll have a new home, which is going to be the center of Gnosticism. And this is property of Stephen Whybrow and Lisandra Stadler. and it is also the property of mankind. So everyone who wants to learn, who needs the medicine, will get it so for free. Okay, this is going to be the new paradigm. It's ushering in with us, and all of the money we're going to use step by step to set up more centers of Gnosticism where people can live, people who are in the greatest need of society, mothers with a single child, also male, female, doesn't matter, will have a place to live, okay, because of the economic warfare that has gone on. And there's a time of transition. That's why we also use money, and people will be given the money also when we have access to our collateral account. We support mankind. All of this money and everything is for everyone. Otherwise the medicine opts out of the alliance with us because it's not meant for us. I'm not interested in being a millionaire. I don't give a fucking damn. Okay, I've gone my whole life just going from one day to the next. Okay, in the best of times I had a few months rent on my side, which was money that I then used in summers. I have always lived a very simple, very simplistic, how should I say, it's just a very simple life. I'm a good man. And now I get all the abundance because I spread it. I share it with everyone. This is my why. I've got an alliance that I've never seen in the background. I'm the commander-in-chief here on Earth. Together with Liz, she represents the female side of it. She's more water as I'm more fire. Okay? She's more earth as I'm more air. And it's beautiful, it's a beautiful combination. And I was activated in a hyper-dimensional warfare here on Earth. Hyper-dimensional, multi-dimensional warfare. And there's this huge alliance that I am the commander of, as I am right on the battlefield, spearheading this takeover. This is what I do here. It's incredible. Yeah, people think, well, yeah, I had to do it. I needed to do it. It's good for. This is my therapy for my mental health, because I saw what was coming in 2020. I knew this was a genocide very early on. And yeah, all the allies are behind me. I've not seen in this lifetime. I look forward to meeting everyone. And the medicine activated me in this hyperdimensional war. And now comes the time where this program breaks down, because all it takes is one, as I said, two, me and Liz, to break out and transcend this mind control prison. That works through classical conditioning that I've said. Maybe you'll have to watch this video a second, third time, because the information that I share here is first rate. It's the highest level of information. This is what they really don't want anyone to know. This is what they feared would happen. This is exactly what has happened. So I love to say this. It's one of my favorite. It's exactly what has happened. And yeah, I'll share everything with everyone. I'm so proud of myself. I'm getting rid of this classical conditioning of the shadow program. And me and Liz are out of their control system. And there's a reason why they've got this control system running, because when everyone in the collective is still in the control system, they're not held liable. So now we're out of that control system. We're on a higher resonance, on a higher frequency level of reality, on a higher radio station, which is called a plane, a higher plane in esotericism. And therefore we can command them. We've changed the command structure here on Earth. Prove us otherwise. I command that I'm the highest point of the command structure and power structure here on Earth. It is so because I say so. So it is, and so it is, and so it is, hermetically sealed and protected. So you have to prove us otherwise. Okay? And the medicine will continue to do iterations to break down this mind control of classical conditioning. And she's making us invincible, absolutely unstoppable and invincible. And that's why we cannot be stopped. We'll never be stopped. And the rate will just go up, dark occult. So we're gonna raise it again. I've not checked my email since yesterday, so maybe it's already gone through. We've got our new home. But we're all calm and collected because it's all in our power. It's all about how the healing process works with us, and we let all of the processes happen and then it comes through. However, the rate is going up. Okay, and I'll be sharing a new deadline with you very soon, and we'll see how it comes. Today I've done my job. It's fantastic. Now I've done the great work. Actually, job is just over broke, as we can remember. That's why people need to get rid of their jobs, and that's what the Gnostic Takeover is going to be, a hub for people to transcend out of this control system. That's what it's all about. Freedom is beautiful, and yeah, it's fantastic. I love it. So we're reaching the end of this video. I'm just going to check my my things. This is, I'm gonna, yeah, right. So I'm speaking from my essence instead of my trauma-based state of perception. Okay, and the signal travels. This is the most important. Okay, my signal. Why do they have to listen to the Satanists, dark occultists, the priest class? They're traffickers of information, like the Merovingian character. So they have to know. And my signal is picked up by the matrix control system. That's why I can hear a helicopter right now. If we're on long enough, we might even see the helicopter. This is a daily occurrence for me. All right, I'm the danger. This is what happens when you take down the control system. Helicopters over above you, you know, and they're like, oh look, he's weird. No, this is what actually happens when you are the danger. And the more action I do, like doing this video, the more confident I get in my path, in the vision, in the greater vision, because I see that I am doing the great work. When I affirm my sovereignty, when I command that I'm the highest authority here on earth, as I do, I get a feedback loop of perception where I'm being tested by the medicine. And I get through these tests. I have emotional breakdown, so it breaks down the program inside of me. It's a collective program. And the more I do this, the stronger my signal becomes, the stronger the lion awakens, and the signal can travel from microcosm to macrocosm, from projector level of reality. Okay, we are receiver, transmitter of information, and it's up to us to what reality we tune into from the infinite field of realities. It's up to us what we tune into. And so my signal travels from microcosm directly to macrocosm, when there is no contradiction between how I think, how I feel, and how I act, in synchronization of heart-based intelligence with the mind that projects reality. And it's totally in my power, independent of anything outside of me. As we know, the system, criminal system, conditioned us through classical conditioning to believe in outside recognition and outside authorities, when they do not have any authority, because the doctor doesn't sign their paper, the judges don't sign their papers, all the people in administrative work don't sign their papers, because they're acting criminal. They're acting criminally. They're criminals, that's why they don't sign anything. And you hold them liable, you tell them you haven't got you have to show me that you're working for a state. Okay, show me proof of claim that that state was even created. They can't do that, because it's all set up as a company structure. It's a superstructure in this control system. It's a company. You do not have any contract with them. They're all privately liable to the infinite if they do something to you. So they have tried with me and Liz to put us in a mental institution, also on top of trying to arrest me on the 28th of February. The mental institution attack was on the 17th of July this year. 28th of February 2022, they stole Liz's child, broke into our home, tried to arrest me under these pathetic COVID measures, and they failed, and this has caused damage to the infinite, and I determine what they have to pay up. It's payback time. Tables have turned as I cause reality and manifest it into existence. My signal travels from microcosm projector level as a receiver transmitter of information travels directly to the macrocosm. This is the torus field from micro to macrocosm, and this is only a matter of time until it is complete. So therefore we're on 42,638,000 euros that you have to pay out. Infinite liability you're under. All the energy you attacked us with gets transformed, as is with the principle of Aikido. I just have to take the opponent's strength and use it against him. I've worked all of this really out well. That's why I'm the chief investigator here, leading the charge of the takeover as commander-in-chief, commander and general of the plant kingdom that I am one with and stand here in. I determine who I am. I'm also the diplomat of the earth. They call me Steve. I determine who I am. Don't need outside recognition for that. I'm a traveller through time and space on an adventure that I'm beginning to really enjoy. The hard part is behind me, and now the good times usher in. So always stay on the path. Trust the medicine comes to you. She's nature, and she never loved anyone but a warrior. Till next time, take very, very good care. Bye bye.